I read this quote the other day, and it said if something is worth doing, then it's worth being bad at it and improving. That's how I feel about these videos and about most things in life. I've said before, and you can go back on my channel, that the first videos that I uploaded were bad. They had bad lighting, they had bad sound, the B-roll was bad, but the message was there. At the time, I knew I wanted to make videos, and I knew my videos would be bad at first. But I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot of time debating and second guessing if this was something that I really wanted to do. I'm not saying that my videos are now Hollywood productions, but they're way better than before. That's why it's worth being bad at something if you think that the world needs it. Let me be clear and say I don't think that my videos are world-changing videos, but I do think that they're above average videos because I think I'm actually talking about useful stuff on here. I'm not just coming on here to bullshit people for quick views or to sell courses. I'm on here to try and change the path or direction of people's lives who think they're on the wrong path, or I'm convincing them to stay on the path that they think is right, despite what the people in their lives might tell them. Like, I used to be a perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be running in an optimal state. I didn't release or record anything unless everything was perfect, until one day I just said, fuck it. I came to the realization that in the beginning, contrary to popular belief, it is about quantity over quality. Now let me preface this by saying this is a slippery slope. It's not always about quantity over quality, but it is at first. It's about quantity because the less work you put out and the less, time that you work on your craft, then the longer it's gonna take you to get better. Take this nighttime B-roll, for example. I'm bad at it right now, and you're gonna be seeing improvement by me live, like as it happens. I don't know anything about lighting nighttime scenes right now, which is why my nighttime B-roll is bad right now, but I'm learning how to light nighttime scenes. I'm aiming to have some nighttime scenes in most of my upcoming videos because the more I practice it, the better I'll get. The reason for the whole nighttime B-roll is because when I talk about more serious things, I want the video to reflect the content that I'm talking about. I can't talk about how depressed I was after my mom died with the sun shining through my windows at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because that won't fit the ambience of the video. If I'm talking about being depressed, I'm gonna have a nighttime scene with me sitting in the living room looking sad in front of the TV with moody lighting. Hopefully I can actually achieve this look without looking like an idiot, but that's the whole premise of me learning how to light night scenes. I'm gonna be honest, I'm taking a leap out of my comfort zone here. I normally just open my curtains on a Saturday, shoot my B-roll, and that's the end of that. Lighting is a daunting task because if it's done badly, it's really noticeable, and when it's done amazingly, it mostly flies under the radar. But I want to be able to provide the best B-roll that I can in my videos, and I feel like this is the next step that I have to take. Let's say you and I want to get better at lighting nighttime scenes. If I practice one time a week for 1 hour, for example, that's only 4 hours per month that I practice my lighting. But on the other end, let's say you practice for 1 hour a day for 3 days a week. You did 3 times the amount of work and got in 3 times the amount of practice than I did. From there, it's just exponential growth on your end. Once the weeks turn into months and the months turn into years, you'll find that you just run away with things in terms of experience with lighting or whatever it is that you choose to do. That's where the quantity over quality comes into play. In the beginning, it's wise to get a lot of experience under your belt so you can figure out if you even like the thing that you're doing. I have no other way to transition this topic, so it's gonna be coming from out of nowhere, but it's like having jobs. I worked like 7 or 8 jobs in the past 8 years, and when I was doing security, after I left that job, I knew that I didn't want to do that anymore. If I stayed there for 5 years, I wouldn't have known that until I left it, and I would have wasted 5 years of my life. Same goes for my other jobs. I wouldn't have known I don't want to work in a grocery store if I didn't already do it. I hope you get the point that I'm trying to make here. when you're young, it's better to try as many things as you can, so you know the things that you want to do and the things that you want to pass on. In addition to me saying all this, you also have to remember that in order to be great at something, you first have to be bad at it. Nobody was born with the ability to play piano like Hans Zimmer. Nobody was born with the ability to act like Leonardo DiCaprio. There were times when they were bad at their jobs too. Hans Zimmer said in a video from Vanity Fair, which I'll link down below, he said that when he was a kid, he was torturing the piano. So he wasn't just born with this superhuman ability to create amazing movie music. He had to learn how to do it, which probably took him years. Same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio. I guarantee he wasn't born with this superhuman ability to act. He also had to learn it. In order to be great at something, you have to be willing to put in the time to learn it. Whether or not it's worth it is up to you though. Personally, like I said, I think these videos are worth it because I'm making an impact on young people's lives. I'm helping them choose their path. I'm helping them get through things that they're struggling with. So it's definitely 100% worth it. I'm basically being the person that I needed when I was younger. If you think that the world can benefit from whatever it is that you're gonna do, I urge you to try and do it. Don't get caught up in having the best equipment or writing the best script. Just get the message out there. Anything worth doing is worth doing bad, is how the saying goes. When you first start, you can assume that you're gonna do something badly, but it's way better to do it badly versus not doing it at all. Because what's the alternative if you don't do that thing? You sit there scrolling on your phone, you keep coming home and complaining about how shitty your job is, you come home and play video games to escape the shitty life that you live. What's the point in that? It will also give you clarity as to what you want to do. Let's say you want to learn how to code. So you start watching videos and you're learning how to code. Let's say you start learning how to write code for Google's AI program or something like that. And you ultimately decide that you don't like that. But you did find that you want to help people create a website from the beginning. And that's what you like to do. That's your calling in life. It doesn't matter how far you get when you first start, because it's further than you would have gotten if you just stayed where you were and just waited. And even if you don't find what you want to do, you now learned what you don't want to keep doing. So there's no downside there. People have career changes all the time. The bottom line of this video is this. The fact that you're going to be bad at something doesn't mean that you shouldn't start it. That's nonsense. The fact that you're bad at something doesn't mean that you can't learn. You can have what you think is the best idea in the world, but you're probably going to be wrong about it, and that doesn't matter. What you're right about is having an idea and planning on executing on the idea that you want to make a reality. It doesn't matter whether the idea is perfect or imperfect. All that matters is that you do it and you move forward and you learn and adapt while you're doing it. If you're sitting there with an idea right now, please don't delay, just start it. If you think the world needs it, you don't need to justify it to anyone, no matter what the people in your life are trying to tell you. Just do the thing. There's no downside to trying something and being bad at it, as long as you improve over time. And as always, thanks for watching.